Beloved soul, stop for a moment. Not because these words are loud, not because this message is dramatic, but because your spirit already knows this moment matters. Slow down. Breathe. The pause you feel right now is not accidental. God says, I slowed you down because I need your attention, not your hurry. The moment you felt something shift, you were moving through life on autopilot, scrolling, thinking, surviving, managing responsibilities, carrying expectations. And suddenly, something inside you paused. You didn't hear a voice. You didn't see a sign. You didn't receive a clear instruction. But you felt a nudge, a quiet stirring in your spirit, a sense that something was being asked of you, a feeling you tried to explain away. You told yourself, I'm probably overthinking. It's just emotion. I'll deal with this later. But God says, you felt it because I touched you. That nudge was not imagination. It was not weakness. It was not coincidence. It was invitation. Why God speaks softly? You expected God to speak loudly. You expected certainty before obedience. You expected clarity before surrender. You expected understanding before movement. But God rarely works that way. God says, if I explained everything first, you would never learn to trust me. A holy nudge does not overwhelm you. It gently interrupts you. It asks you to listen before you understand, to pause before you proceed, to feel before you reason. The difference between noise and a holy nudge. Noise demands attention. A holy nudge invites awareness. Noise pressures you. A holy nudge aligns you. Noise creates anxiety. A holy nudge creates stillness. That stillness you felt, that quiet heaviness, that gentle discomfort. God says, that was me calling you closer, not calling you out. Why this nudge feels uncomfortable? Holy nudges often disturb comfort, not because they bring danger, but because they signal transition. You are no longer who you used to be, but you have not yet stepped fully into who you are becoming. That space feels confusing. God says, discomfort is not punishment. It is evidence that growth has begun. You feel restless because something old no longer fits. You feel unsettled because something new is being formed. You almost ignored this. Be honest. You almost scrolled past this. You almost dismissed that inner pull. You almost told yourself, later. And God says, many people miss me, not because they reject me, but because they ignore me. Most destinies are not destroyed by rebellion. They are delayed by distraction. Why God is interrupting you now? God does not interrupt randomly. He interrupts when you are ready, even if you don't feel prepared. You are strong enough, even if you feel tired. You are aligned enough to hear Him, God says. I am speaking now because you can finally hear me. If this had come earlier, you would have ignored it. If this had come later, you might have missed it. This timing is intentional. This is not about what you did wrong. Let this truth settle your heart. This nudge is not correction. It is redirection. God is not pointing to your mistakes. He is pointing to your future. God says, I am not disappointed in you. I am preparing you. What God is asking right now. Right now, God is not demanding action. He is asking for attention. Before movement comes listening. Before clarity comes surrender. Before direction comes stillness. God says, stay with me in this moment. Don't rush to answers. Let me finish what I started. The holy nudge always precedes change. Every major shift begins quietly. Before doors open, hearts shift. Before paths appear, minds soften. Before blessings arrive, awareness deepens. God says, if you honor this nudge, you will recognize what comes next. This is only the beginning. This nudge is not the full message. It is the doorway. What follows will require courage. What follows will require trust. What follows will require release. But it will also bring peace. Pause here. Don't rush forward. Ask yourself quietly, what has God been nudging me about that I keep postponing? That question is holy. What happens when the nudge is ignored? Beloved soul, listen carefully. Not every warning comes as a crisis. Not every consequence arrives loudly. Not every turning point feels dramatic. Some of the most dangerous moments in life arrive quietly, wrapped in comfort, delay, and excuses. And God says, ignoring my nudge does not break my love, but it delays what I long to release. The subtle cost of delay. You did not reject God. You did not walk away from faith. You did not stop believing. You did not rebel. You simply postponed obedience. And postponement feels harmless. You told yourself, I'll respond when things calm down. I'll do it when I feel ready. I just need more clarity. This isn't the right season. But God says, delay is not neutral. It always moves something out of alignment. Delay feels safe, but it quietly builds distance between calling and action. Why delay feels more comfortable than obedience. Obedience requires surrender. Delay requires nothing. Obedience asks for trust. Delay allows control. Obedience changes direction. Delay keeps familiarity. And familiarity feels safe, even when it's draining you. God says, you stayed because it was familiar, not because it was fruitful. What happens when a holy nudge is ignored? God does not punish you for ignoring a nudge, but He allows the discomfort to increase, not to harm you, but to wake you. God says, when you ignore my whisper, I don't get louder. I get clearer through your unrest. That uneasiness you feel, that restlessness you can't explain, that sense of being stuck even while moving, those are signals. The warning signs. People often miss. When a holy nudge is ignored, certain things begin to happen. You feel busy but unfulfilled. You feel tired even after resting. You feel disconnected from joy. You lose peace before you lose faith. You feel spiritually dull, not sinful. God says, I withdraw comfort before I withdraw calling, not to abandon you, but to prevent you from settling where you don't belong. Why God does not force you. God could force obedience. He could remove options. He could close every door. He could make the path obvious. But He doesn't. Why? Because forced obedience creates compliance, not transformation. God says, I want your yes, not your pressure-driven obedience. He honors your freedom, even when it costs time. The dangerous place called almost. There is a spiritual danger zone called almost. Almost obeyed, almost stepped out, almost let go, almost trusted. Almost feels close, but produces no fruit. God says, almost obedience produces almost lives. And almost is where many people remain for years. Why peace leaves before blessing arrives. You noticed it. Peace began fading. Clarity felt distant. Joy felt thinner. You thought something was wrong. But God says, nothing is wrong. You are just staying too long. Peace is often the first thing God removes, not to punish, but to prompt movement. The nudge is often a warning before a door closes. Listen closely. Not every door stays open forever. Some seasons expire. Some invitations pass. Some alignments shift. God says, I warn before I allow consequence. That nudge you feel is mercy. It is God saying, pay attention. Don't drift. Don't settle. Don't miss this. Why this warning feels urgent. God is patient, but timing still matters. Opportunities are seasonal. Assignments are timed. Preparation has windows. God says, I will still love you if you delay, but you may miss the ease I prepared. Delay doesn't cancel destiny, but it often adds unnecessary struggle. The difference between waiting and delay. Waiting is obedience with patience. Delay is fear disguised as wisdom. Waiting listens, delay avoids. Waiting trusts timing. Delay demands certainty. God says, waiting keeps your heart open. Delay hardens it slowly. Why this message found you again? You've felt this nudge before. Not once, not twice. But God keeps returning. Why? Because He hasn't given up. God says, if I am still nudging you, it means the invitation still stands. This message is not pressure. It is proof that heaven is still calling your name. The moment of decision. Right now, you are standing at a quiet crossroads, not between good and bad, but between comfort and calling. God says, you cannot step into what is next while clinging to what is familiar. This is the moment many people delay, but you don't have to. What God is asking in this part, not action yet, but honesty. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What keeps returning to my heart? What truth do I already know? What decision have I postponed? God says, your honesty unlocks direction. This warning is love, not fear. God is not threatening you. He is protecting you. God says, I warn you because I see farther than you do. He sees where delay leads, where obedience opens doors, where settling drains purpose. And He speaks now, before loss replaces opportunity. Do not panic, but do not ignore this. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to awaken you. God says, you still have time, but don't assume you always will. This nudge is grace. Pause. Hear. Sit with this truth. What is God warning me not to ignore? Do not answer quickly. Let it surface. The moment you say yes, everything begins to align. Beloved soul, this is the moment where everything changes. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, not because every problem disappears overnight, but because alignment restores what confusion stole. God says, the moment you stop resisting the nudge, I release peace you forgot was possible. What a holy yes really means. Saying yes to God does not mean you understand everything. It means you trust Him enough to move without clarity. Obedience is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not rushed. It is quiet surrender. God says, your yes does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be honest. Obedience is not a leap. It is a step. Many people delay obedience because they think God is asking for everything at once, but He is not. God rarely asks for leaps. He asks for steps, one conversation, one decision, one release, one adjustment, one act of courage. God says, I reveal the next step only after you take the first one. What happens the moment you say yes? When you say yes, things do not instantly change on the outside. They change on the inside first. Peace returns, clarity sharpens, fear loosens its grip, confidence quietly rises. God says, alignment always begins internally before it manifests externally. That calm you feel after deciding, that relief you didn't expect, that sense of rightness, that is confirmation. Why peace is the first sign of obedience. Peace is not the reward. It is the signal. God says, peace means you are finally walking in agreement with me. Circumstances may still be uncertain, but your spirit is no longer fighting direction, and that changes everything. Obedience reconnects you to momentum. Before obedience, everything feels heavy. After obedience, movement returns, not because effort disappears, but because resistance ends. God says, when you stop pulling against me, I begin carrying what exhausted you. What God releases after obedience, God does not always give answers first. He gives alignment. then come. Unexpected conversations, timely confirmations opened doors, renewed strength, restored joy, not all at once, but steadily. God says, I do not overwhelm my children, I lead them. Why obedience feels risky but is safe. Obedience feels risky because control is released. But God says, what feels risky to you is protected by me. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into prepared ground. You were never behind. You were being positioned. Let this truth heal you. You did not miss your moment. You did not ruin your future. You did not fail God. God says, you were not delayed. You were being shaped. Now the shaping has done its work. Now, the invitation is clear. The holy nudge was always about trust. God was never testing your strength. He was building your trust. God says, I was teaching you to recognize my voice above your fear. And now, you recognize it. What alignment looks like moving forward. Alignment does not mean perfection. It means direction. You will still learn. You will still grow. You will still adjust. But you will no longer feel lost. God says, you will know where you are going, even when you don't know how it will unfold. The doors that open after yes. Some doors open quietly. Some open suddenly. Some open slowly, but they open. God says, what I open no one can shut. And what He closes, you no longer need. This is the season of forward movement. No more circling, no more second guessing, no more spiritual stagnation. God says, you are not stuck anymore. You are moving. Even if it feels slow, even if it feels uncertain, movement has returned. The promise attached to this yes. God does not waste obedience. He honors it. God says, your obedience today protects your peace tomorrow. What you release now, He replaces later. What you trust now, He multiplies later. This is not the end. It is the beginning. This message was not the destination. It was the awakening. God says, you listened, you stayed, you responded, and because you did, your next season has already begun. Final pause, your declaration. Take a quiet moment and say this in your heart. I will not ignore your nudge. That declaration matters. Heaven heard it. Closing word. Beloved soul, you are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are aligned. God says, I will finish what I started in you. This holy nudge was not random. It was love calling you forward.